So today it's barely above freezing outside in my yard, but inside my cold frame, it is a tropical 26 degrees. So I need to get outside and vent the cold frame right away, or my little spring seedlings will be cooked by lunch. In today's video, I'm showing you exactly how I'm using this simple cold frame to cheat the short season we have and get a 4-week head start on my garden. So if this is your first time joining me, my name is Tracy and I am a cold climate gardener living on the prairies in Saskatchewan, Canada, growing zone 3. And with this cold frame, cold box here that I'm starting things in today, I'm hoping to get about a 4-week start on my outdoor growing season. So in this video, I'm going to run through things that you can plant using a cold frame middle of April to early May to get a jump start. Things that you need to know about operating one of these. It's a bit of a high maintenance job, but I think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to be enjoying fresh greens early May this year. So you're probably looking at this thinking this does not look like a typical cold frame. And you're right, it's not. It's kind of a misdesign project that I ended up with last fall. I actually had asked a friend who's a carpenter to build me a cold frame. And we had this old patio door here that was going to make a great, topping, glass topping. I had some 2x4s and stuff, gave him a bunch of lumber, gave him a picture of what I wanted, and this is what it came back as. It came back, other than a cold frame, it came back as a cold box, is what I call it. It's a beautiful box. It's insulated with foam insulation, but it has a bottom on it, so I can't, directly plant into the soil. And it was also very deep. So, when you shut the lid here and you got pots sitting inside, they're not getting, as much sunlight as they could. So I've done a little bit of improvising here. We're going to make this grow box, cold box work and put some crates in. I've got different containers here full of soil that I'm going to plant up a variety of different things, and it should work out okay. So one of the things about cold frame gardening that I'm learning quickly here is that you really have to pay attention to the temperatures outside, not just the nighttime temperatures, the freezing temperatures, but almost more importantly, the daytime temperatures. Because when you have one of these cold frames shut up, they heat up super fast, and by midday you could be cooking your seedlings really fast. So you want to make sure that you are propping it open during the day when it gets warm. Right now our daytime temperature is only around, I think, 8 degrees Celsius, but this shot up to 26 degrees by noon today. So having a little thermometer like this is super handy. And what I like about this one is that it has a Bluetooth feature. I can download an app for free to my phone, and I can check the temperature anytime I want, night and day. Gives you kind of a reading over the, course of several hours, so you can see what kind of temperatures were going on in the box in the night, how cold it got in there. So you can kind of compare it to outdoor temperatures, and if you need to cover things with maybe some frost cloth some nights and just to keep it a little more insulated, you can just monitor the temperature inside the box. So I think this is a really handy thing to get. It didn't cost a whole bunch. I got it off of Amazon. I can leave the link in the description box below. Another great feature about it is if you can set up an alert on here, so you can set the temperatures you want it to alert you when it gets too high or too low. You can open up the app. It'll tell you, the temperature now reached 26 degrees Celsius. So to come out and vent up your cold frame a little bit during the day. I find though, because we're dealing with cool tolerant plants here, in the mornings I can come out, just prop it open a few inches with the board so that it's above freezing, and then as the temperature rises throughout the day, just keeping it vented like that will keep it from getting too hot in here. If you're getting into the really sunny hot days, we're directly facing the south, so we're going to maximize on that heat and sunlight. You can prop this wide open so that it is, as same temperature as it is outside. Something that you may find helpful with your cold climate gardening, but it's not totally necessary, is to get one of these infrared thermometers, heat thermometers. This is a really great way to test your soil to make sure that it is, warm enough for planting certain things. Right now we're doing cold tolerant seeds, so they're not quite as, finicky about soil temperature, but you want to make sure that it is at least above freezing, maybe about that 5 degrees Celsius is kind of a good starting point for your cold tolerant seeds. So these pots have been sitting here in the sun, so the soil is quite warm, but you don't want to go by the outdoor, air temperature. You want to be able to dig down into your container or into your garden. Just do a soil temperature check. This right now says it's about almost 4 degrees Celsius down in here, so that's pretty good. This one over here, I just pulled it out of my garden. It is frozen right down here, so this pot is pretty cold. And if I take a temperature reading, it says -7 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to leave this pot in the sun here in the cold frame for a couple more days, let it thaw out, and then it'll be ready for planting. It'll heat up pretty quick. So it's good to go down about, 6 inches or so just to see what the temperature is down there. This one's giving me a reading of 7.3 Celsius. This one here, I just put the soil in. It was in the garage, so pretty sure it's going to be nice and warm. It says 11 degrees Celsius. So these containers are all ready to plant up right now. So I'm probably overseeding this a little bit, but I'm just going to sprinkle around the seeds. I've got quite a good supply of this romaine. I can thin it out later. Just kind of lightly cover. So there's quite a variety of things that you can do that are cold tolerant and do well in cold frames. You can do like the lettuces like I'm doing, bok choy, spinach, radishes. You can do kale, Swiss chard, mash. Some people can do even, your carrots, your beets, your root crops. If you got a nice size cold frame, preferably one that you can plant directly into the ground, I think they would work great for getting a good jump start on beets, carrots. So let me know in the comments if you are a cold frame gardener, what you like to grow in a cold frame, if this is something new that you want to try out. There's quite a bit of information there on the internet that you can research, but I've also put together a quick little cheat sheet that you can download for free. I put the link in the description box below. Goes through more of the details on the temperature, how you can keep track, what is ideal temperature, what is good crops to use in a cold frame, and just some other little tips. So if you want to download that quick little cheat sheet so you can just screenshot it, have it on your phone, start thinking about cold frame gardening, just check it out in the link in the description box below. So even if you're not using something like this that I was talking about, you can just use a regular thermometer like this one here. I actually have two different ones in here that I installed, and both of them, when it got super hot in here, just kind of petered out. So I don't know if they were just cheap thermometers or what, but I find that this one is working really good. Like I said, I think it cost about $25 on Amazon Canada, and I can just set it inside here, kind of out of direct sunlight so that it doesn't, read a temperature that's too high. I'll be setting it down in here, and then I can just monitor from my phone during the day, check out those nighttime temperatures to see if it got very cold in here. As a cold climate gardener, you always, always, always want to check your temperatures, watch that 14-day forecast. Going by just when our last frost date is isn't enough. You really need to keep an eye on temperatures because nighttime colds can hit us all the way into June. And stuff like having a roll cloth cover like this is something I purchased last fall for my winter gardening. If I look and see that maybe the temperature is going to get down to maybe -8 or -10 at night, and I'm not sure my cold frame is going to keep things warm, you can just bring out a cloth like this and cover everything up just to give it a little bit of that extra insulation. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As you can see, being a cold climate gardener takes a little extra effort, but we have such a short season, and anything that I can try or that I can share with you that will help us extend that season or get us to a harvest sooner, I love to share on my channel. I hope that this works out well for me. I will keep you posted. If you are an avid cold frame gardener, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you want to join our gardening community located on the school platform, Gardeners Growing Together. We are cold climate gardeners from all different growing zones, sharing, talking about gardening, sharing tips. So if you'd like to join that community, I'll leave the link in the description box below. So they still are forecasting more snow possibly in the next week. So I'm going to have to, keep an eye on things here and probably slowing me down on getting my garden beds ready. But so I will keep you updated here on my cold frame gardening and watch for videos where I will be working on warming up some of the soil in my garden beds out in my garden space as well, coming to future videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.